Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make dark beats from scratch like Metro Boomin. Metro just dropped his new album called Heroes and Villains with a whole bunch of artists, and it reminded me of how fire Metro is as a producer. This beat I made was heavily inspired by the song Metro Spider with Young Thug. So in this video I'm going to be breaking down how I made a beat similar to that one from scratch. For all the drums in this video, I'm using my Slat drum kit. It has 120 drum sounds total with a go-to folder and a unique folder. I also use the Onyx Analog Lab bank that is a part of the Onyx bundle that I just dropped recently with Mike Fuego. The bundle has an Analog Lab bank with 60 presets, a one-shot kit with 200 sounds, and a sample pack with 20 samples, so I'll leave a link down in the description for that if you're interested. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and let's just get right into it. Yeah, as you can hear, the sample is really dark, and if you're trying to get that Metro Boomin vibe, you definitely want to try to get something that's dark, ambient, and almost orchestral. But for the sounds, the first thing that I did is I opened up Analog Lab and I opened the Onyx preset bank that I just dropped, and I opened up this Fear the Unknown synth key preset, and I laid down this pattern right here. As you can see, we started in G minor, so I laid down the root note at G, and then I just built this really simple chord right here. So I started with that chord, I just copied it over, and then I added this note up top, and then I added a really repetitive melody in between the chords. For the effects on that, I just added Lifeline Expanse with this preset right here, and then I added an EQ to take out the low end. So once I had that, I knew I wanted to reverse it, so I hit Control A and then Alt Y to flip the MIDI, and then I just rendered that out as an audio clip. I also took the original sound that looked like this, and I basically sped it up double time and stretching it down to make it a lot faster. And then so what I did once I did that is I brought it in, pitched it down too, so I went from G minor to F minor, and as you can see for the second part right here, I have it pitched up a whole octave. Once I reversed it, I added some more effects. I added reels just to make it sound more like vintage. I added reverb and EQ to take out some of the harsh frequencies, and then a shaper box just to control the volume. So once I had that key, I went into Analog Lab again, and I went into the Onyx bank, found this pad, this textured pad. So I took the reverse MIDI that I did earlier because I knew I was going to reverse this as well. And then for the effects, I just added an EQ to take out some of the high mids, another instance of Lifeline Expanse with a different preset, Super VHS, which makes it sound a little bit more vintage. And then again, I just rendered that out as an audio file, added another instance of Lifeline Expanse, and then another EQ to take out the low end. And I only use one MIDI. I use the same MIDI for both of the sounds. You can take one MIDI and you can flip it in different ways with different sounds and just add different effects, and you can combine them to make them sound really like unique and interesting. But anyway, once I had those two sounds set, I went and grabbed a Cubeatz starter. It was basically just vocals. So I pitched it to make it fit the pitch of the sample. I put it to its own mixer track, and I added a whole bunch of effects. I added thermal, fresh air to boost the high end, Valhalla Uber mod, delay, reverb, and then an EQ to take out some of the high end, some of the low end, and then a shaper box to control some of the volume to make it duck in and out. So if you're looking for vocals similar to that, you can use either like Splice or YouTube and just search like women's choir or women's vocals, ambient vocals. And speaking of Splice, I use Splice to find these strings right here. They're just a really nice like violin melody, but what I did is I reversed it. As you can see, I put it to its own mixer track and I added some effects. I added Lifeline Expanse. It's kind of like RC20, but a little bit better, I think, because it has effects in one plugin and it has different presets. You can control them individually. And then I have a section where the strings are half-timed. And as you can see with the strings, I just chopped it up so that it repeats, and the strings with the vocal sounds almost like a real sample, like he sampled some sort of record, and I know Metro Boomin does that a lot as well. So next thing I did is I opened Contact and I went to Orchestra Complete, went to the Tubular Bells and just added a bell. And I went into the Onyx one-shot kit and I grabbed this low piano right here. And I just added a really simple one note following the root note. Then from that same one-shot kit, I went and grabbed a texture. And then lastly, from the one-shot kit again, as you can see right here, I went in and I grabbed this bass called Super Trap. So once I had all the sounds that I wanted, I just structured it. I have the first part right here with the vocals and the strings that are half-timed, and then the strings come in and the vocals go out, and then I have this section right here that's kind of like the verse where everything drops out and it's just really ambient, and then I have the reverse sound right here that comes back in, and then it just kind of repeats. And as you can see, I pitched it down, so I went from F minor to D sharp minor, EQ to take out the low end, mid side EQ, make it sound a little bit wider, fresh air to boost some of the high end, some soothe to take out some unwanted frequencies in the low end, and then another EQ to take out more of the low end. And I knew I wanted like a longer, really heavy 808. I went in and I turned the boost up and the volume up, and then I controlled all these knobs right here to control the envelope. I just turned the hold all the way up and then everything else all the way down. And I came up with two different patterns. The only difference is the ending. It's a little bit more simple for when the kick comes in. Then I added this standard clap. Sounds like that. Next thing I added was the hi-hat. Then I added this bounce snare right here. Then I added the triangle, the open hat, then I added another snare, and then the last thing that I added was a kick. That was pretty much it for the drum selection. And then for the master, I just added a compressor, soft clipper, and that's it. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this beat. Hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully you took something away from the video. Like I said, I'll leave a link down in the description for the Onyx bundle and the Slat drum kit if you're interested in either of those. And I'll see you guys in the next video.
Daniel Taylor.